Hi, what's up, everyone? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I am here to discuss Queen Sugar, Season 4, episode, I believe this is episode 6, but nonetheless, it will be in the caption for YouTube, nonetheless, once I post it. This episode was called Face Speckled. Give me sugar. You want that sugar. Yes! As in every episode so far this season, Nova ain't shit. And just what everyone said was going to happen has happened. So many people's lives and livelihoods are in jeopardy thanks to Nova and this damn book, Blessing and Blood. It should be called Curses and Damnation. That's probably what it should be called. I can't think of another culmination of damnation. I don't know, but it should be called something else. But I will say this, I was very, very happy in this episode to see an old school part of my childhood, made me want to go to an HBCU. Winifred Freddie Brooks, better known in real life as Cree Summer. Yeah, she made an appearance on the show. They bring about everybody, ain't they? They had Tevin Campbell. He done had a cameo this season. Now we got Cree Summer. Because she really, and people were like, I thought that was her. I'm like, even though, you know, time has taken a little bit of a toll on her. I mean, I could, if I saw her in a crowd, I would know who she was. That's Cree Summer, who has had a very, very lucrative career doing a lot of voiceover work in cartoons. So don't think just because you ain't always seen her on camera. She's been busy, and she also does music too. So when we open up this episode, Nova is having nightmares about her mother visiting her. And she does a tape recording of it, and she says she came to visit me again, this time on land. Nova, baby, I don't know if you know this or not. I know that your mama was a root worker, but I think your mama is torturing you from the grave for the foul ass shit that you did to your family. Even your Aunt Vi told you when she kicked you out the house and told you she never wanted to see you anymore, Ernest would be ashamed. I'm going to do what your mama about to do. So that's why your mama torturing you. Ain't no need to try to make sense of the sense is you fucked up and you're foul. Ralph Angel goes to pick up Baloo, and we're gonna put this all into a bow. We're going to talk about Ralph Angel, Darla, Ralph Angel's dating situation right here, right now. Wrap this storyline up. So Darla is refusing to come out. Ralph Angel comes to pick up Blue for school. He's like, where's your mama? You know, he said, why are you answering the door? He was like, because mom said I could, because she knew it would be you. And he was like, what's that smell? And he was like, what do you mean that smell? He said, come here, Pop. And he smells him, and he's like, ooh, that's you that smell funny. He was like, I don't smell funny. I smell good. I put it on. And he was like, well, maybe you put too much on, Pop. It was the cutest moment, which is what makes this episode make you continue to say Nova ain't shit. How could you break that baby's innocence? He already has been hurt. He lost his pawpaw in season 1. Now he done found out that ain't really his family, thanks to you. But Darla even has bound herself up in a room because she realizes this book is going to destroy the life that she's created and built. No one ever needed to know about the ugly. But I was like, girl, being a crackhead prostitute, you tend to get more love that way, quite frankly. So, I mean, it is something that's frowned upon. But we all have our stories that we have to overcome. But I don't blame you because the big issue is your son and the embarrassment that he may feel. So the reason why Ralph Angel was smelling funny is because he had a date with, I think her name is Disha, the public defender that he's been dating. You know, her daughter and Blue have a friendship. Joa, that's her name. I love that name. It's different. I have to look that up and see what that means, if anything. But in the middle of this date, of course, he gets an urgent call from Darla. But before that, Darla does the, I forgot what the prayer is called, but it's what all recovering addicts, the prayer that all addicts pray. And that's what I was afraid of too, is that Darla might have, you know, a relapse. And then where would she be? Thanks to Nova, you know? I mean, it's like, Nova, really? Is it worth it? And so Blue hems himself up in his room. Eventually, as the episode progresses, Blue does come out of the room and they have the talk with him and they let him know that biologically, no, you are not my son. Because what happened when Blue was on the playground, his little friend Marcus said, well, my auntie told my mama that Ralph Angel ain't really your daddy. You ain't got no daddy. Kids are just, they have no filter. And adults, you remember that time, for those of us who remember that, when kids were seen and not heard, and really we weren't seen or heard because we better have our ass outside or in our room doing something and not up in grown folks' conversation. Those days, my friends, are over, apparently. So Blue is crying about that because, you know, Darla said at school he had been crying all day. I said, that goddamn Nova, she ain't shit. This is what everyone was trying to warn you about. So now Blue is hurting, but that scene between him and Darla and Ralph Angel, oh my God, he was like heart to heart. You are my heartbeat. I was like, oh my God. Somebody get me a tissue. Oh, Ralph Angel. Where the men at like that, Lord Jesus? The good men that will be good, you know, good daddies to these children. You know, you need a good daddy. You don't just need a stepdaddy, because some of these stepdaddies out here will kill the child just to get rid of them. I'm just saying. Also in this episode, we saw Micah go visit Aunt. And this is when Micah makes the crazy ass decision after seeing Aunt. Aunt got a tattoo Aunt got a tattoo from the girl that hangs out in that crew. I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings tattoo. And Micah felt convicted in his spirit after this visit that he should get a tattoo too. So he gets drunk off a bottle of Jack and gets a tat. I said, when Charley see this, she gonna be ready to beat your ass. But you know what? You 17, you think you know it all, and the only person you seem to trust is Nova, who ain't nothing but a gutter snipe. But okay. So that happened, and Charley did confront him about that, and she was like, "You're drunk." And I think honestly, with everything that Charley has going on, it's like, fuck. You know, what's one more thing with Micah? You know, just let it go. Romero and Charley. In this episode, as we know, Charley always got some issues going on in her life. Be it because Davis has fathered a child outside of the marriage, and including her family's land. It's a hot ass mess in Charley's world. But in the midst of all of it, you know what? Romero is her peace, honey. He is her peace. He is her calm. He is her tranquility. So I really like their relationship. What I don't like is what went down at the damn clinic. Poor Ignacio. So apparently, Charley learns from the councilwoman, the Latina councilwoman, that somebody found out that her private detective had been snooping in the land records. So that's probably why she's going to be experiencing or is having problems, because what happens, I didn't know this and I didn't look it up or research it, but when you have a clinic that is servicing immigrants or quote unquote illegal aliens, that is supposed to be a safe space, and ICE isn't supposed to be able to come in there. But you know, this is Angry Wig's administration, and he doesn't follow the rules, constitutional or statutory either. So someone gave them a tip, and they raided, and they split up a whole family, including their best farmhand, Ignacio. He got to go. So he's going to be deported. Later on, we see her talking to one of the sheriffs or deputies, and he basically tells her, part of the problem as to why you're having problems is when you shut down the prison, you made a lot of enemies. We also see that consultant from, I believe it was episode 3, when she went to go see Jacob Boudreaux. Baby, he was creeping around, and I think he was driving the deportation bus. Oh my God. So what's up with that? In the beginning of this episode, we also saw that Charley had papers to declare herself a candidate to run for city council against Jacob Boudreaux. And now more than ever, she has to make that decision to do so. And in my mind, all I keep thinking is, I know she wants to do it, but Charley, is it really safe? Is it really wise? You know, what if they kill you or harm you or maim you or try to hurt your son? Because as it turns out, within 6 months, she learns from the Latino councilwoman that they plan to break ground on this highway. And there's another parish that was St. John's, I think is what she kept saying, was supposed to get it. But now the Landrys are trying to direct it in St. Joe's Parish. And that would gut through most of the black farmers' land, as well as, when they say black farmers, that also includes the borderline property as well. Some highway. But see, St. John's is trying to hold on to it because apparently they get a lot of tourism already off of that. So it's just a hot ass mess. And so with the Landrys, you just don't know because they some snakes. My only thing is, I truly want to believe that if Jacob does win the council seat, if Charley has to step down, because we see in the upcoming episode that she is going to run, but in her campaign office, people are throwing bricks and shit. I mean, God rest the souls of all the civil rights activists who sacrificed their lives for us so that we could at least have the few freedoms that we do have right now. When I say few, y'all know what I mean. Because every time a cop gets behind me, I'm scared. I was recently pulled over right here in my neighborhood, and I was scared to death. And I was like, if you're going to shoot me, you're going to shoot me in front of this 24-hour tire shop. And that's not funny, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, nigga, yeah, you want to try it? But it was just a ticket that I hope I don't have to pay that much money for that ticket. I don't know how much it is. I'm going to go to court and dispute it, so whatever. But I digress. So that pretty much is Charley's stance. You know, she's fighting the Landry Boudreaux clan. She's going to run for office. Micah is just the wayward child. I think, let me not say wayward. I think given everything from a sheltered life to being put back in Jim Crow-like situations, because, I mean, the South is going to be the South, y'all. I still, to this day, wonder, I'm like, how the hell is it that y'all still think it's okay not to like somebody on sight when you see them because of the color of their skin? I mean, that's just stupid and demented. But also another reason why Charley needs Romero to be her piece is goddamn Davis keep coming back. So thanks to Nova's book, Davis might not be able to keep his coaching job at the university because people know about what he did with Galudi and all of that. And Charley's like, that's not my problem anymore. I can't help. He was like, please, Charley. So ultimately, they have this conversation, and she basically tells him, you need to get ahead of this, and one of the ways to get ahead of it is to apologize and tell them that you are now a changed man. You're not the man you were when this happened, basically, which is 4 years ago. There's growth. You live and you learn, and yes, there are consequences for it, but you know, ultimately, I said, well, maybe he should just hope for another R. Kelly story, and then it'll just all go away. That's what I was thinking. Remy Newell shows up briefly, and I just think it's a travesty how they closed out his storyline, Lord Jesus. So he comes to Aunt Vi's Prize Pies Diner. That's a lot to say, Aunt Vi. Why couldn't we just call it Aunt Vi's Prize Diner? Even though you do have prize pie. I don't know. But either way, Remy comes, and Hollywood's like, do you really have to do this? He was like, you know, this was never my town. I feel lost. He said, I fell in love with Charley. When we broke up, I didn't think I would ever find love. And then I started catching feelings for Nova. And he was like, it's just too much. You know, basically, I can understand when you've suffered a massive heartbreak and been disappointed and life is what it is, you kind of just like, and it's not where you belong. You need to go find your own place. It's kind of how I ended up in Atlanta ultimately in the end, because things in California went dark for a while. And I just needed to find roots, and I put roots down here, but I don't know. I feel Remy on that, but needless to say, he told Hollywood, tell both of them. I said, bye. I was just like, oh my God, come back, Remy, don't go. Who knows, we may see him again, but I did see Sora Ava kind of posted, we thank him for being on here. I was like, damn, but his wife still got a job, right? Because, you know, Sally Richardson does a lot more directing than she does acting these days, and that's his wife, Dondre Whitfield. And I love how Charley also told Davis this: if he had just kept it in his pants, he wouldn't be in any of this, and they wouldn't even be in this mess. But oh well. And I also was disappointed at the fact that Nova is out gallivanting doing this goddamn book tour, and her whole family is in chaos. Her ex-brother-in-law might not have a job. Baloo is being taunted on the playground, but where is Aunt Nova? Meanwhile, on this book tour, and this is how we will close out this review, talking about the complicated life of Nova and her sexuality, I said, damn. How many former lovers do you have out there? You know, you had one show up at the book signing, y'all couldn't get it, but we knew who she was. Well, I'll be damned. Right when I said that about Davis, I accidentally, because I go off my Twitter notes, R. Kelly, y'all, been arrested on federal sex trafficking charges. My Lord. Well, Davis, I think that your headlines will now be closed out. I know it's fictional, but still. During one of her book tour stops, a lady stands up and basically tells her that you wrote this and had no empirical data. Because remember, she kept saying how this book was a study on the American family and that, you know, the borderline family is this, and this, and the family. So basically she was like, it's no research. And I was like, well, if it's a memoir, that's different. You don't need empirical data for that. And I kind of feel like Nova about that. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing the research. I think I can just speak from my experience and my observations, quite frankly. But, you know, they always, them academics, boy, they be wanting that peer-reviewed articles, and you have to, oh my God, it's a hot-ass mess. But the way that they were going back, I want to say, damn, is anybody going to say, I challenge you to a duel? Meet me outside. But, you know, she was saying something about cultural violence against the family and all this stuff, and she didn't tell the story. And I was like, somebody on Twitter was like, cultural violence is the fact that you told your family stories without their permission. Hello, somebody. Needless to say, I could tell from jump. I said something is going on between them. Later on, we see them at this seminar meeting that Cree Summer, her name is Octavia, I forgot, I think it's Dr. Octavia Laron or something like that. And that's when we find out that they been together before. One of her students, and Nova picked up on this chick named Jasmine, after the seminar discussion, she kind of wanted to hang out. And like Nova was like, oh, so you really, you know, that seems to be about your type. And so next thing you know, they kind of, you know, you can kind of tell that they used to be together. Later on in the episode, Octavia was like, you know, I read your book, and you know what, you wanted to forget about me, like, you didn't write about me. I was like, so you mad at her for not putting you in the book too? Goddamn, what did Nova not put in the book is what we should be asking, I guess. Needless to say, she brought up some stuff about a trip in Italy. Remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time? And I was like, here we go. Next thing you know, they getting it on, honey. I guess I said, well, I guess Nova fucking to forget the fucked up shit she did. I guess that's about all I got on that for her and Winifred getting it on. So anyway, that's all I've got for this episode. But real quick, since this is an own show, I'm going to briefly speak about Ambitions in this very brief segment. Let me tell y'all something. If you are not watching Ambitions, we are 4 episodes in and the shit is good. Now, my only issue is I feel like sometimes Robin Givens is doing a little bit too much overacting. But it's very good. Honey, the mayor is corrupt. He trying to do some development deals. It's just really bad. Mayor got a side chick that's got his baby. It's like some Training Day in Suits type shit, because, you know, he had a whole other family, but had a mistress across town. Y'all remember that? And so, either way, he doesn't want to leave Robin Givens, his wife, and Stephanie Carlisle. It's the Carlisles and the Lancasters. That's who it is. And then you got the Pure Four family. You got Robin Givens that's upset with her former college classmate, played by Essence Atkins. Her character's name is Amara, and then she has a husband, Titus, that used to be Stephanie's boyfriend in college. But Stephanie didn't value him. And so Amara was like, I value you. I'm going to be with you. So they got together, got married, and lived happily ever after. Albeit they're not as wealthy as Stephanie is, because Stephanie's always throwing it up. But it's really good. Bella is the side piece to the mayor, Briar White's character. And baby, they got a baby together. But she's also dating this former NFL player. And he found out about the fact that Bella got secrets that the mayor might not want to get out. On top of that, she secretly records them having sex, takes pictures with them sleeping in bed together to have a record of all of this. But I'm like, at the end of the day, what is it really going to do? Because you've set up here and had a baby with this man. Because I think they all grew up together. I think that he grew up with her. Also, the mayor's daughter is a lesbian, but she don't want her family to know that. Stephanie been trying to get her daughter to get with one of her sorority sister sons so that they can bring another business to Atlanta. Breely Evans plays the mayor's sister who's in the hood, and they're trying to gentrify the hood. The Banks is what they call it. I wonder if they're talking about Bankhead, but either way, the father and her run this restaurant, Thelma's Restaurant, which was founded by their mother, who is now deceased. She may be getting a little involved with one of the city councilmen who is always in her brother's ass. But either way, I think that'd be a good fit for her. What else is going on in this show? Oh, so the Carlyles are upset with the Purefore family because the Purefore family is a pharmaceuticals company, and one of the daughters OD'd on some opiates because she was hooked on them, so they blame the Purefores for that. Stephanie is very maniacal. Amara, before they moved to Atlanta from Alabama, had an affair with one of the lead attorneys, her boss, and ended up getting fast-tracked and getting promoted. Stephanie does some due diligence to find out about it and brings him on board and tells her, I want you to tear that marriage up again and distract them, because I'm not just doing it because I want to get back at her. I also want to win this case because they filed a class action suit against Purefore. So it's just a hot ass mess, but it's really good. At the end of this episode 4, this most recent episode, the mayor is a freak. The U.S. Attorney's Office is already starting to investigate his office, as well as possibly the Carlyles now, because the gentrifier, they find out, is also connected to Carlyle firm. And also, Stephanie and her sister-in-law don't get along, so Amara is making friends with Breely Evans' character. What's her name? Rondell. And so that's when she finds out that there's a connection with the mayor's office, the Carlyle firm, so it's going to be a hot mess. And so Stephanie is trying to bring in Amara's former lover to distract and destroy, but I think it's going to backfire in her face. But it is good. I do like Robin Givens, but I just feel like, honestly, she's overacting. But yes, honey, the mayor is into some 50 Shades Gray, BDSM, I think is what it's called. I forgot. But y'all know what I'm talking about, binding and whips and chains and leather and shit. And so that's when we find out that Bella, part of the reason why Bella also hangs on to the mayor is because she is a fashion designer and she's really good. And all she wants is a concession stand in the middle of Hartsfield. And he can make that happen for her if he really wants to. But he won't. But that's all I've got for Ambitions. I may start reviewing it a little bit more, but I just want to kind of give y'all a taste of how great it is. And I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching and listening. Again, be sure to check out my article where I'll be posting a link from Voyage ATL, where I was featured in Voyage ATL. Learn a little bit more about me, my comedy career, and me doing the Diva Disturbed every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time on BFAM 109.6. Other than that, that's all I've got. This has been my thoughts on Queen Sugar, Face Speckled, and also my thoughts on just the overall how Ambitions is going so far. It's a hot ass mess, y'all. It's juicy, it's good. Get into it. And that's all I've got. Stay fabulous, Buttercups.